crack me up with that shit.
Just take your glasses off. You won't see it.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you need to have that little bit of OCD to kind of be good at that kind of thing. It was like Stanley Kubrick. And who's the guy that Peter Jackson. Two guys that are like notorious for like get the minute details right in the movies and stuff, and it's like it pays off. I feel like, especially with Peter Jackson with the Lord of the Rings movies, the amount of work and details that went into all of that, it was impressive. And when they try to do it on the cheap, it does not hold up. I mean, when you look at that Lord of the Rings series that they did, was it the
Rings of Power?
Rings of Power, yeah. Like by comparison, I mean, the armor looked like trash. The characters were not well written, and just so many details.
They're still going to do another season of that.
Oh, I know. It's still making money. People are still watching it.
Because they're starving.
Yeah. But
people are starving for the fantasy stuff, the D&D stuff. They're starving. It's just that people just can't do it right.
Yeah. We need optimism in our fantasy. I think Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to do really well because of that.
Because Dungeons and Dragons, it made money simply because people were starving for it.
I mean, the Chris Pine one did very well. It was a very good movie.
It did very well. But look, when it first came out, and I went to see it in the theaters with my kids, and my kids were like, "Hey, you used to play this game, right? When you were a kid?" I'm like, "Yeah, I used to play it." She goes, "What's that?" I said, "That's an orc." And I said, and honestly, you catching an orc and putting him in prison?
Right.
Yeah. That's not happening.
Well, no, if you're talking about in the very beginning scene where they're in the prison cell and they get the new cellmate or whatever, he was a hobgoblin.
No, that was a hobgoblin, but I'm talking about was it an orc? I think it was they were walking past one or something.
Probably,
like that.
Yeah. I'm sure there was one in prison.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. The hobgoblin, I don't know. But the fact that, was she a barbarian?
She had to have been like a barbarian fighter.
Yeah.
She definitely had some tavern brawler feats and the improvised weapons and stuff. But
and the little guys, that was a gnome, right? There might have been a gnome.
You talking about Bradley Cooper's character cameo, her ex-husband or whatever?
Yeah.
He was a halfling.
Halfling, okay. Yeah. So I was like, nah, he doesn't have the face for a gnome.
Right, yeah. The features weren't big and bright and bold
no
enough.
big nose or nothing like that.
Giant bulbous eyeballs or anything like that.
So I'm like, what is he? Like, I don't know. Did they have halflings? I wasn't sure. And it's like, of course, you have to go, what version of D&D they were going with?
Yeah, it was definitely some 5th edition stuff going on.
But,
and
the paladin. I was like, okay, that paladin doesn't work for me. It didn't. He was they nerfed the hell out of the paladin.
Well, I mean, they didn't really have him fighting much.
No. I mean, he did some, some of the sword play, some of the sword work was okay. But I'm like, okay, are these things undead or not? Because apparently, I guess they were undead. Because he killed them, and they said, "Well, yeah, you can't kill these. They don't stay dead." Yeah. So I'm thinking they were undead.
Well, so paladin kills anything; it stays dead.
That's what I'm saying. He is like, as a paladin, he should have been able to just wipe them out.
Yeah, smite.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah. He had a sword. He didn't have a hammer.
Well, that was more of a cleric thing in the old school, but in newer in 5th edition, they kind of got rid of like weapon restrictions. They had the proficiencies, and so like base clerics were only proficient with certain weapons, including like simple melee weapons, and then there were certain racial proficiencies. Like dwarves were proficient with hammers and axes, any size hammer and axe they were good with. Same with elves with bows and such. But as far as class proficiencies, cleric got simple weapons and a couple of martial weapons, and then certain subclass clerics, like depending on your domain that you picked, you would get martial weapon proficiencies, and so the more advanced stuff, your long swords and your great swords and all that fun shit.
So this is why I bring him along.
Because I know things.
You know things. Well, I mean, I was sitting there going...
I talk and I know things.
I was sitting there going... but as a paladin, it pissed me off because I'm like, yeah, he swung his sword a lot. He didn't do anything except run away.
My biggest issue was the druid being able to... It was for a lot of people, being able to wild shape into an owlbear, because owlbears are not beasts, they are monstrosities. And therefore,
not nature bound,
right? So a druid would not be able to wild shape into one. But it was still really cool looking, and it did well on screen, and so everyone was just kind of like, all right, we'll give it a pass. And then
the fact that everybody was like, oh, an owlbear. I heard that all throughout the theater.
And that version of an owlbear, I had never even considered seeing something that big move like that. Like, sure, owls and bears, both very fast, big creatures, and everything like that. Like, it makes sense. I had just never thought of it, and it was intimidating seeing it on screen like that. But then my favorite part after that fact was that, because it's official Wizards of the Coast putting out that movie, when they did Baldur's Gate 3, one of the things they did was they allowed the druids in that game to be able to wild shape into an owlbear.
Yeah, like I said, it's influence, man.
Yeah. You're also able to get an owlbear cub as like a companion creature that eventually grows old enough to be able to like don armor and fight alongside you and shit. And it's like, yeah, real owlbears are
wild creatures. Right?
No, they're magically created abominations.
So they're summons.
Summons, but yes and no. They're just overtly dangerous because they were creations. Like they did eventually become like wild creatures because they were able to reproduce and everything, but they were originally created by some kind of wizard playing around with splice and shit together.
Wild magic, right?
And they created a thing that was powerful and
chaos.
Yeah, it couldn't be controlled, and so the theory was that the wizard who created owlbears in the first place was probably mauled to death by an owlbear,
and ran around.
And they just ran free. And,
it's always something you create. Oh shit! No one thinks about putting this thing in a cage before you make it.
This could never go wrong.
Right.
It's always some wizard sitting around, and I will rule the world. Oh shit! Run away!
Now, let's do our
right,
thing.
Let's do our thing. Come on.
All right, so. Hey there, Midnighters and Moonlighters. Welcome to the Nightwatch. I'm here with Kitty.
Hello.
And Big Smoke.
Aloha.
We're talking about drinking today. You gotta assume that wizard was drunk as fuck when he come up with an owlbear. Yes.
Yeah.
He was on something for sure.
Right.
Yeah, some shrooms. He was on some shrooms.
Some that good.
Not that I've done any. I'm still in that. I'm gonna dabble in weed consumption right now, but I mean. Before I die, I'm gonna do a shroom on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not tricked into it.
Yeah. Not an accidental, cup grab or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if they tell me
story.
I only have like so much time before I die, I would definitely try it. But as it stands right now, I'm too afraid to do them. Any kind of like acid or trippy stuff, like you better lock me up and put me in a padded room because I'm probably gonna see some really demonic shit.
Yeah, surround you with blue and orange flowers.
It's gonna go dark real quick.
Cherubs.
The trick is moderation. You only eat a little bit. You don't get full blown hallucinations. Everything just gets a little prettier, and everything gets a little more giggly.
You saw me at the hospital. They were diluting my Dilaudid with they gave me the smallest amount of Dilaudid they had, and I said, "Do you have anything smaller than that?" And they said, "No, this is the smallest dose," and I even diluted it, and they still gave it to me. And like as soon as they would give it to me, I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, but that's Dilaudid though.
And they're like, "Still?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It literally made me feel like I couldn't feel my legs or anything. And they're like, "We usually give people like full doses of this like every 4 hours, and you can't even take the smallest dose diluted without feeling it." And like it was making me sick, and I couldn't do it. I can't handle drugs.
I think if you took like an ounce. Or not an ounce. A gram.
Yeah.
Gram.
You trying to kill me?
I mean, technically, it is technically a poisonous mushroom. That's why it has an effect. But
toxic.
But a gram of, because like if I take like 3-4 grams, I start to trip a little bit. Right, so it's like a bare minimum of I get the effects of.
Give me like a half a gram.
No, not even.
If you go too small, you won't feel anything.
That's good with me.
Yeah,
then what's the point?
I think for her,
because I tried it.
The way she's describing it, I think she's probably in the microgram.
I'm telling you, I'm very sensitive. I won't even take a Motrin. I won't take a Tylenol. Like I don't take stuff. So, and I'm very tiny.
Yeah,
very tiny person.
Small lady.
Yeah, but so mushrooms are one of those rare drugs that like it doesn't matter your body size and mass or anything like that. It doesn't affect people like that. It's like how to put it? It's almost like a neurotoxin. So the body weight of the individual doesn't matter. It's just you digest it. It gets into your system. It affects your brain.
You see, it's terrifying to me because I can't control that. Like if I drink and I get too drunk, I can throw up. I can, I can drink some water. I can take a shower. I can drink some coffee if I really had to. My heart might explode, but I can drink some coffee. I can bring myself down. Shrooms, I take that. It's going until it's gone. I'm in it for the long run, and that's what terrifies me. Like I like keeping control.
She likes a stop sign.
Yeah, I like a way out.
It's just one of those things where like you ain't got shit to do tomorrow. You're in a nice, controlled, comfortable space.
Every week in the Marine Corps, everybody's working for that Friday.
Right.
That Friday night, boy, everybody absolutely took a shower. They took a good shower. They used the good soap and they put on some clothes.
Really scrubbed everything off.
Their clean underwear. They brushed their teeth twice and they were ready.
Go out, have a good time. Don't worry about anything.
Yeah. And sometimes you ended up in jail.
See, my problem is I psych myself out before I even take the shit, so I'm already in that bad headspace, which I know you can't be. Like, you got to be in a good headspace before you take it. Be around positivity.
So, like I said, in the 5 years I've been researching this stuff now at this point, from what I can tell, I mean, you can microdose it for the beneficial effects of having it be a very effective antidepressant. If you take a little bit more than a microdose, you start getting some very basic, very minimum effects. And it's literally just like, because of your pupil dilation, it's like a fluttering effect that you see whenever you're in light environments. Mm-hmm. And then and everything just becomes a little bit more funny. It's a little bit more... Yeah,
if shit starts moving around on me,
it doesn't move. That's the thing. It just if something moves, you just kind of see it, not quite in slow motion, but almost like a strobe light effect, but very, very minimal. And but colors become a bit more vibrant. Light is a little bit brighter in the room, and it's a pleasant sensation. You start getting into that like 1 to 2 grams, and you start getting a little bit more of that effect. 2 to 3 grams, you probably start getting a little baseline. Like for me, a lot of my internal thoughts became more externalized. I was talking out loud to myself a lot because I was by myself at a campsite out in the woods whenever I did it. But then I did like 3 to 4 grams, and then it started getting a little bit more in depth, and it lasted for like a handful of hours. It was like 5 hours or so. But I was prepared for all that. Like I went out with intention and purpose. And
I'd be in a hospital. I'd be in a hospital so quick.
And then the bear shows up, and you're like, is that a bear? Or am I thinking about a bear? Is that bear biting me? Or am I dreaming of a bear biting me?
I don't know. I always hear stories about the hallucinatory effects and everything, and it's like either I'm just very adverse to the hallucinations themselves because I don't see things, and I'm a very imaginative person. I can very easily picture seeing things and picturing some pretty amazing, incredible things, or some very dark and demented looking shit. It's all up there.
I've had one bad trip, and I do not want to go back down that road.
Well, yeah, but you took a lot of acid and didn't know that you took a lot of acid, and
Jesus Christ, I just thinking about that, and I actually just recreate what I saw, and that's insane because I was 17 when that happened, and I still remember it, and that's
it was what, like 39 years ago? 30 years ago?
56 minus 17. Yeah. I got and that was purely by accident, and I don't even know why that fool was taking that shit after the movie we saw. We saw Night of the Living Dead or something of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
One of the very early George A. Romero movies.
It wasn't the black and white. It was the funny humor.
Like the parody type.
Yeah, but it was like serious. These things were coming out of the freaking graves and was running people down, and there was the most of the movie was basically in a mortuary or something like that.
Yeah, that movie's hilarious. Have you seen it?
I might not have seen that one. I haven't seen. I started watching them around that 1990s. I think it was Dawn of the Dead, the remake. It was like the first remake.
The first remake.
Rames.
Yeah, you got to see Night of the Living Dead. It's fucking hilarious.
It was funny when I saw the movie, but
afterwards,
we were just sitting there drinking coffee and maybe a little bit of
spiked coffee,
a little gin and juice, maybe. The waiter wasn't really minding us, passing that obvious paper bag bottle, and we're drinking, and somehow my cup got mixed up with my partner's. I think it was because everybody was moving around, going to the bathroom, rotating out, and somebody's cup got in front of me that wasn't my cup that happened to have acid in it, and I was like, oh, drink it. Oh, okay. We refill, drinking. What the hell is this? And then all of a sudden there's all of these zombies coming out of the walls and ceiling. And it's funny, it was they weren't just morphing out of the walls and shambling about. They're coming out of the walls and they're looking right at me. And I'm going, and I'm talking about blood and guts and teeth.
That's fucking terrifying.
And I'm sitting there going, what? And I sit up and I'm like, hey, what the? And they're like, what's the matter? I'm like, you guys don't see this?
It's the worst when you're the only one and everyone else just staying calm. And
everybody's laughing and stuff. I'm like, hey, we gotta go. What's wrong? You all don't see all these zombies? And then my boy's like, oh shit, hey dude.
Which cup were you just drinking out of?
I think I was wondering why I wasn't tripping. You drank my acid. I'm like, acid? I'm joining the Corps in a couple of months and you gave me acid? Oh, dude. And all of a sudden I really started freaking out. And that's when the zombies really started to come at me. Oh, dude. And they had to grip me. They're like, grab. They put the choke over me. Come on, we gotta go get out of here. There's zombies. What the hell's wrong with you people? There's zombies. They were covering my mouth. They took me outside. Everything was all bright. Mm-hmm. And my heart, I could feel my heart just blam, 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 blam in my chest. So I'm like, oh shit, there's zombies out here too. There's zombies out here too. They're like, calm down. There's zombies. Real life zombies. And everybody was laughing, but it was serious. And I'm like, and then so we got in the car and I'm sitting there and the zombies are coming through the windows of the car and then I had two big friends and they basically just wedged me in there and held me. I'm like, and I'm tripping. And then I don't even know when, but they were like, calm down. I'm like, and I'm sitting there, okay, I'm calm. There's zombies.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine. Oh, yeah. See, that terrifies me.
And then it went white. And then, I think they said I passed out. But for me, it was that kind of a transition. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there, and tears and sweating, and they're like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, there's no zombies.
Yeah, good.
And apparently I was tripping for about a good 2 hours. But man, I swear to God, dude, I could still. It's it's kind of like the first day of going to boot camp. You remember that day. Mm-hmm. That's how I remember this stuff. I remember the kind of zombies I saw. The one that kept there was one zombie that would crawl up to me. It wouldn't stand up. It would get on all fours and shamble to me. Mm-hmm. And it seemed to be in the same shambling position no matter where I looked. Yeah. It's logically I know that, okay, that's a hallucination. But it's still scary as hell. Oh, shit. Yeah. And that was the first and only time I was on acid.
But drinking, though.
Drinking, yeah.
All right, so we'll start off naturally.
Ladies first.
Lady doesn't have any drinking stories.
Yeah, lady. Yeah,
Lady's a lady.
Lady's a lady. She's a good girl.
But when was your first drink?
My very first drink?
Yeah.
I would have been 17, and I had a Busch Light.
Okay, what was the occasion?
We all went over to a friend's house, and he was throwing a party. His mom was never home. He didn't have a dad. Had the house to himself all the time. So I went over there, and I thought it was going to be like just a little party with a couple of friends. Well, it turned out to be a whole fucking house. Oh, and like everyone brought beer, everyone brought alcohol, and I had never had alcohol in my life. And this was I remember it specifically being a Busch Light. And because one of my friends came in and she had one, and I'm like, oh, where'd you get that? Let me grab one. And then she brought me one. So I had a Busch Light, and then that turned into another Busch Light, and then it got to the point to where I was going in the freezer to get something, and they had a big old bottle of E&J, and I got the E&J out, and I just started chugging it, walking around the house in between everybody, and everyone's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I found this in the freezer, and so I at this point, E&J, it's
green bottle, yellow front. You had to have seen it.
It's
like
liquor.
Jameson?
I'm not sure what type alcohol it is. Yeah, look it up. I don't know if it's
fact check.
Yeah, it's just called E&J, but I don't know like the type.
Continue.
But yeah, so I'm just walking around.
It's a brandy?
Okay, a brandy. And so I'm just walking around drinking this, E&J and get super fucked up. And this was like my first night drinking. And at the time, I had a boyfriend, but his mom picked him up way ahead of time. And she was like, oh, come with me, I'll drop you off at your dad's. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to stay here. She didn't know a party was going to go down. This was still when it was like 4 or 5 people just sitting inside of the house.
She didn't notice you were drunk?
Huh?
She didn't notice you were drunk?
Oh, no, that hadn't happened yet.
Oh.
So she came, he was there, and then, she wanted me to go with them, and I was like, oh, no, I'm going to hang out here for a little longer. And then, I knew a party was going to go down, and my boyfriend at the time knew a party was going to go down, and he didn't want me to stay there by myself. And he was like, no, come with us. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stay here. And then some of my other friends were there, so he had told my other friend, he was like, hey, keep an eye on her. And he's like, okay. Well, about an hour passed by. He's completely drunk. Everyone's drunk at this point. It didn't take long. Like most of us, either this is the first time we're drinking or, it didn't take us long to get drunk. And so the friend, he said to keep an eye on me, he was gone. Like, I'm pretty sure he walked his ass back home. So now I'm just in a house full of people, and the one that was hosting the party was the one that I knew the most. And he was passed out on the couch already. His eyes are open, but rolled in the back of his head. He's just laying on the couch, completely head back, mouth open, and it's only like an hour in. So I don't know what he drank or what he was on or what he was doing, but he was out. And so now I'm just in a house full of people who were way older than me, younger than me, just all kinds of people. And at one point I became like the mother hen in a way, because then there was some people that were getting sick, and these other people that were, didn't really care, or that were too drunk to care. They were just pointing and laughing and stuff like that. And these people were getting sick. And I'm like, that's not cool, man. And I'd start demanding. I'm like, go get me some towels, and you go get me some water, and you go get me some, this and this and this. Get me a change of clothes. I started just, yelling at people.
Policing everybody.
Yeah. I mean, and I was fucked up. But it sobered me. You know what I mean? Even though I was so far gone the moment I walked into the room and I saw, her name was Faith, and I saw her laying there on the guy that was hosting the party. She was laying on his futon, and she was on her back, and she was getting sick, and I'm like, oh no, she's gonna aspirate or something. And so I turned her on her side, and she had it everywhere. And that's when that's when people started coming into the doorway, and they're it was a crowd of people just standing in the doorway, and they're all just pointing and laughing at her. Oh, look, she got sick. She's the first one. And I'm like, fuck all of you. And I immediately sobered up, and just for that amount of time to get her cleaned up, turn her on her side, get her changed. I closed the door, changed her out of her clothes, and then put her in some new clothes, and then left her to be. And I was like, y'all need to fucking keep an eye on her. And then immediately when that stopped, it's it all hit me at once. All of a sudden I went from super drunk to super sober to just drunk all over again. It just came whooshing back. And I was like, okay, so, but yeah, that was my very first beer and my very first liquor on the same day.
Big Smoke, what was your first drink?
My cousins and I stole one of my dad's, old English cans. It was at a barbecue.
Did he notice?
I don't see how they could not have noticed. But it was in my backyard. It was at my house. All the usual suspects were there. My father was there. My godfather was there. One of my uncles was there. All my cousins were there. And my other two partners in crimes, who I always seem to get in trouble with, they were there too. And it wasn't even my idea; it was someone else's idea. And my cousin Terry took a can of OD, and he went running off, and so my other cousin went running off. And as is with many blacks, when one black runs, everybody runs. So I ran after them. We ran into my bedroom because it had to be my bedroom, and we started drinking this beer. Now, I didn't even think, I was like, actually, I didn't even like the taste of it, but we drank the entire can of beer. And then all of a sudden, I can remember my head feeling lopsided. It was kind of weird. If I tilted my head one way, my body would kind of follow that way. And I remember, okay, this is kind of funny and weird. So all three of us are kind of wandering around, falling all over each other. Of course, being 6, you don't think to stay your happy ass back in the room.
Jesus, you were 6?
Yeah, I was 6.
Whew.
So we're stumbling around. Next thing I know, I don't know if it was my sister or my brother, comes up to me and says, "What's wrong with you?" and then they back up and went, "You're drunk." And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm getting whipped. My mom had the belt, and she's spanking me and my cousins, and we're all very ineffectively trying to get away as we're getting spanked. And I remember pointing at my cousin. "I didn't do it. It's his fault. It's his fault." And I remember that was the first time I got drunk.
6 years old.
6. And it's funny that I can remember that, but I do remember. I do remember because always when you're doing something bad, you remember.
Oh, absolutely.
So, because it's like I knew he was like, I was like, "Ooh,
You gonna get in trouble?"
Yeah, it's like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." And he went running off, and I went running off after him. You know, being smart, you would stay away from the bad activity, but no, like we ran with him, and yeah, we all got spanked for that. Yeah, that was.
Let's see. I had to have been 15, 16, somewhere in there. And me and my buddy JB, we were down in my room in the basement of my parents' house. I can't remember what he was drinking, but somehow I got an entire 5th of Jose Cuervo.
Ooh.
And was just drinking straight tequila. And I drank almost that entire bottle.
I love me some tequila.
But I was like chugging it down quickly because I'm like, oh, this tastes gross, so I'm like chasing everything, but I'm like trying to get it down as quick as I can. And like, I finished that bottle off in like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I remember I got really hyper, like weirdly hyper. I'm not quite sure why.
Makes you frisky.
It felt really good for like about 40 minutes. And then I ended up throwing it all back up.
Yeah.
So I was only drunk for like maybe an hour and a half total. And most of that was getting sick and getting it out of my system almost immediately.
Oh, absolutely.
But my first proper drinking was vodka. And we were mixing it with grape soda. Me and my old buddy Phil, another guy I was in high school with, we were 17 at that point. Because after that last point with the tequila, I didn't start doing anything like bad until like 17 and almost graduating high school. And we were drinking the vodka mixed with the grape soda, and it was good until we ran out of grape soda. And then I was trying to drink straight vodka, and that was gross. And then I ended up getting sick all over the yard. And ever since then, I have a problem with vodka drinks. If I can taste the vodka, I don't want it.
I don't like vodka.
It tastes like gasoline. Yeah, and I've had good vodka. I've tried good vodka, and it's still just, or not even gasoline, rubbing alcohol. Especially that heavily distilled stuff. I can't do it.
Yeah,
but so
I'm not a fan of vodka.
Now, if I'm doing cocktails, it's got to be either whiskey or. I do still like tequila. I love a good tequila.
Yeah, the only thing I've never gotten sick on is tequila. I can drink a lot of tequila, and it is yet to ever make me sick. I don't get like that room spinny feeling,
right.
Like I just kind of like fall asleep.
Yeah, it's a very chilled drunk.
It is, yeah. Especially if you drink it, like
properly.
Properly, right?
Mix it a little cocktail, sip on it,
Yeah, because I was trying to, because I know we were going to do like, like your worst time, your best time, and the craziest time. And I was trying to like sift through my mind, like, well, when was a good time that I drank? Because there's a lot of bad times. There's way too many. There's a lot of bad times. I would say the craziest one was it was another party held by the same guy, except now he was in a different house. His mom moved around a lot. She was, it was always like in the same area, but like within walking or biking distance. But she moved around a lot, and she, like I said, she was never home. So same guy hosting a party. This time it had a pool, and I was with my best friend Crystal at the time, and she decided to get. We were drinking Four Locos.
Oh God!
And this was back when they hadn't changed the formula yet. Mm-hmm. So in Florida they were like, I want to say they were like 24. Was it 24% alcohol? It was really high.
They were
it was like,
up there.
They were like killing kids and shit. I don't know. It was really bad. But anyway, we were drinking Four Locos, and so I just had the one, and she had like 2 or 3, and they were like the tall boy type, and she decided she was going to jump in the pool, and no one else was in the pool. It is cold. I know it's Florida, but it was during that. It was really
cold.
Windy. Yeah, it was Florida cold.
Like 60 degrees.
No, it was down there. It was really windy though. So it was like cutting right through you. But she decided she was just gonna dive headfirst into the pool. Well, it was further than what she thought it was, and she head dived right into the concrete of the side of the pool.
Ooh.
Yeah,
cut her head open.
Yep. And so I jumped in after her, got her out. She didn't get knocked out or anything, but I would say that was probably one of the craziest times. We weren't even an hour into this party, and she got that messed up that quick. And were you fact-checking me? Did you see?
Yeah, so original Four Loko is 12% alcohol by volume. The reason why it was banned was actually due to its high caffeine and stimulant content, because it was a...
Oh, it had caffeine in it.
Oh, yeah, caffeine. It was an energy drink mixed with alcohol.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it literally, it says, known as Blackout in a can, it was marketed to college students with a potent mix of caffeine, taurine, guarana, and alcohol.
Oh.
So basically think like
a stimulant and a sedative at the same time.
Oh, my God.
I mean, we were doing that.
It was malt liquor mixed with energy drinks.
Yeah.
like a monster in a can. Yeah.
Exactly. We were doing that with Red Bull.
Yeah, the Red Bull shots. Yeah.
We're doing that with Red Bull. I mean,
you drop them down in your beer.
Drop them in a beer and drink it.
Yeah, and drink it, yeah.
And a beer?
Yeah.
And it was...
What are they called? Not cherry... Are the cherry bombs?
Yeah, cherry bombs.
Yeah.
Okay.
You drop the shot.
They even sang a song about it.
Yeah.
Cherry bombs.
Was that about Red Bull? I don't think that was about the Red Bull shot.
Wow, that's what we were thinking. It was
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that was... I think it was a car reference, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. But
you fact check that shit too. For me.
but for Red Bull specifically, in terms of drinking, that was a lot of vodka Red Bulls.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of vodka Red Bulls.
Yep.
We were just watching the thing.
Doing for the color.
We did just watch that.
Yeah.
We were doing it for the color. Actually, it was like dropped it in the color swirl, like, ooh, and drink it. But like for me, the tequila. That wasn't until like the 10th grade. There was this one chick, second year Russian immigrant, and she was really into me. This is after I lost my virginity to this cute little Korean girl. And I was feeling myself post-virginity.
Right.
But what I didn't know is that Russians were alcoholics. I mean, big time alcoholics. They drank. And
oh, yeah, they could drink you under the table.
Yeah, and there was no real drinking restriction in her house. I mean, she's 15, and they were just drinking.
Right.
And it was her brother, a couple of his friends, their girlfriends, and we're all just in the den. Parents are upstairs. They didn't care.
Right.
We had full access to the liquor bar, and we're just watching movies and drinking. And it was not conspiratorial, we're getting away with something. It was just, here, pass this on. And we're just passing the bottle around and just taking a dip and then passing it on. Mm-hmm. And, we're sitting there going, wow, we're just drinking. And I'm like, I was like not prepared. And we're just, next thing you know, I'm just like, wow, this is really nice. I'm just chilling.
Right.
I don't even remember the movie we were watching. I'm just thinking, I got this cute girl on my arm. I'm faded. And of course, this is kind of like a group makeout session because everybody is like drunk and uninhibited and shirts are coming out and nipples are coming out and everybody's touchy-feely. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. It just, and this entire bottle was just passed around. And it was just passed around. But next thing you know, the bottle's empty. And then everybody's all up in each other's pants. And I'm drunk and happy. It's just,
yeah. Tequila makes your clothes fall off. There's literally a song about it.
Yeah. Definitely panty dropper, alcohol, So that was nice 10th grade year. I was heartbroken that she moved.
Okay, so I did my worst and my craziest one. He did his. Would you say that was the worst when you were 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then
first.
That was my first.
First, right. And then you did your good one.
Okay. Now, look, worst, that was definitely all in the Marine Corps years. Because we were just drinking to get drunk.
Yeah, you would set out with a mission, and that mission was get as fucked up as possible.
Or, they say, as they say in Tennessee, you get fuckered up.
Yeah,
you're in it to win it.
Yeah, and I've gotten drunk. Some of the worst stuff. You woke up, you're naked, everyone's naked. There's people naked that you don't know, and they're in the bed with you. And
I'm so thankful I'd never been through any of that.
And
never, not once.
Too many times for me. That was in my young years. That was before I got married. And
see, me and you couldn't play Never Have I Ever with him because we'd be fucking drinking back to back.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
She was too vanilla.
I whenever I went drinking, it was always with a plan. It was always where I knew I was going to be able to either stay or get home or had a ride arranged.
Oh, God. I always got picked up by the cops.
If I was...
That was my ride.
I didn't get into those kinds of situations.
So,
I didn't go to jail. They just brought me back to my parents' house. I was underage.
Yeah. Well, see, when I was drinking underage, it was either in the Air Force, so I was way away from home, or it was at my parents' place. So like, I didn't.
They didn't mind you drinking?
No.
Oh my God, my dad would have a hissy fit.
Yeah, my parents mind. Even though there was alcohol all over the place, it was kind of like, I dare you to touch that.
Yeah,
they put it right there in front of you. Don't you touch that.
See, my parents were like. Well, at least my dad. My dad was the little teenage hellraiser. And was
he's probably like,
parties.
if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it here.
He was the one that was hosting the parties at 14 at his place that everybody in town was coming to because his parents were never home.
My dad would mark the bottle. He would mark the bottle, and then my sister would take some out, and then she'd pour water in it. I remember the worst whipping she ever had. I'm sitting there like 8 or 9, and my dad is chasing my sister around the house with this big black belt that he used to spank us with, and it had metal studs on it.
Oh, jeez.
And he's smacking her, and she's rolling on the ground. And he's smacking her, and I'm like, he's gonna kill her because she's like fighting. He's just beating the crap out of her. You think I can't tell water from just beating the crap out of her, and she's screaming, "It wasn't me." You say your brother did it, and then she stopped. Like, can I commit to the line? If my brother's standing in the hallway, like, you better not lie. And then you just keep spanking her, and you start spanking her again, and she's running her through the house. And, oh my God, she's trying to run with them. He kicks her legs out from under her, and she smacks into the dinner table, and she's down on the ground. And then the spankings commenced again.
See, my parents, they drank beer most of the time whenever I was growing up. Every once in a while, there'd be like a bottle of wine or a bottle of liquor. They didn't start really drinking like the harder stuff, at least that I had seen until we were all adults at that point, But I remember vividly that at one point they had gotten their hands on a good old proper mason jar of moonshine, and that stayed in the freezer for a couple of years. And I remember I tried a sip. I mean, barely a couple of drops, and that was gasoline. That was awful.
Oh, yeah, straight fucking moonshine.
I think I was like 12 or 13 when I did that, and I did not like that at all. I was like, no. It burned. It was gross. It tasted nasty. I didn't want nothing to do with it.
I had a peach moonshine for the first time. It was made illegally. It was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like you. It was my 21st birthday though. So it was like 2 days before my 21st birthday, and my aunt was they just got the bottle of moonshine, and they got 2 different bottles. One was like a peach, and then one had like but it had like real fruit inside of it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like flavored; it just had the fruit inside. And
just had something recently like that.
I was gonna say, yeah, Jolly brought a couple of jars of some homemade
that
stuff.
stuff messed me up.
Oh yeah,
apple slice. It had some apple slices in it and everything.
Right.
It tasted just like cider. It was so good.
It was
delicious. See,
but this wasn't real moonshine.
Right, I was gonna say this fruit didn't do nothing for the taste.
What Jolly brought us was Everclear. That was made up like moonshine.
Right. I've seen those in the stores.
Those are really good.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those.
But real moonshine made illegally.
Oh yeah, it's gonna knock you on your
fucking
ass.
distillery. Because
didn't it start in Tennessee? Somewhere around there, isn't that where like they?
I know
they started illegally doing.
Well, because you got Jack Daniels,
right,
and so like you got a lot of the mash liquors that started around that area.
Ah, I gotcha.
Moonshining though, that started in the Appalachians. That's from my family's hometown or home country, from backwoods of West Virginia. That's those backwoods shine distilleries, and they traveled south, and that's where the invention of NASCAR came from. Was all the shiners running moonshine during Prohibition. Running from the cops. They were building bigger and better engines to get faster than the cop cars, and so you made your runs down south and out and across, and that was where racing was, where NASCAR originated from.
It was beer was what my parents drank, but they hosted a lot of get-togethers, and got to see a lot of black old couples getting together, and they're drinking together and stuff, and they always had the good stuff, as they used to claim it. It was always like all up on the upper shelf of my house.
It's like your fine china.
Exactly.
On display.
You see it, don't touch it.
No.
And it was like 3 rolls of the stuff. I mean,
oh wow. Had a selection.
Yeah, my dad had really especially when it came to cognac. If it was, some of the stuff that I stole,
which he got from his dad, right? I remember you telling me about your grandfather.
Yeah,
you got him a very, very expensive bottle of cognac.
Yeah, I know my cognac now, but I didn't know it when I was nabbing it. I didn't know that some of this stuff was like $80, $90 a glass. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here, me and my friends were taking stuff. I'm like, oh shit, I remember one time we accidentally drank an entire bottle of cognac.
Oh no!
1956.
Oh no!
And I remember my dad was telling my godfather, "Hey, we're gonna break out the 56 at the next barbecue." And I was like,
I hope you disappeared.
Well,
I left for the Corps the next day.
but then I was like, oh crap, which one did we take? And then I was like, oh shit. And so me and my friends, oh shit, it was a black bottle of cognac, 56. I was like, no problem. We'll
go get another one.
That's exactly what I said. We're just go buy another one. And so we went down to the liquor store, and hey, dude, we need to replace this bottle. And he starts laughing. He's like, you know what you got there? I'm like, no, that's why I was saying we need to replace this. He's like, hey, that costs $1,200 a bottle.
Whoa.
Oh, my gosh.
No.
And we went, this is 1986.
Yeah.
$1,200. You might as well be talking about $100,000.
Yeah, that's like a college fund. Yeah, that's a.
And between the 4 of us, it was me and 3 of my friends. We started to panic. It's a real time panic. I said, dude, okay, how much you got from your paper route money? I said, I ain't got but $300 my paper route money. How much money you got? I lied. I said, I only got $250. I had $500.
But you didn't drink that whole bottle,
I'm like, share the wealth, right? I said, look, dude, my cousin, man, he runs dope. Mm-hmm. Hey, maybe he can loan us the money.
Sound like a movie plot. Oh my god!
And I was like,
at some point, I'd watch this movie.
I was like, okay, is your cousin cool, man? Is he cool? Can he? I'm like, we're talking $1,200. Is he cool? He's like, yeah, he's cool. We're tight. And I'm like, you don't sound convincing when you say that. And we talking about my dad is going to kill me. And he's like, oh, look, we got it, man. So we all 4 of us, united, right? And then we leave the very laughing, liquor attendant. He's laughing his ass off. He's like, you guys are going to die. So we go to my boy's cousin, who's a legit dope runner. I mean, like right on the corner, selling dope. And we go to him, hey, man. Hey, cuz, I need to borrow some money. All right, I got you, cuz. How much you need? I need $1,200. Please, you ain't getting $1,200 from me. You ain't getting no $1,200. I'm like, dude, we need $1,200. You need to kick in somebody. I ain't giving you no $1,200. So,
I mean, between the two of you, you had 500, so you got almost half.
Yeah, like 7. You know, give me 7. Like, look, I give you the money, but you gotta do something for me.
You gotta earn it.
That's like, well, what do we gotta do? I need you to run some of this, this bag right here to such and such. But I'm like, well, what's in the bag? Never you mind.
Yeah, don't you ask.
Never you mind. I need you to do this for me. I'll do this for you. We cool? I'm like, man. So, I'm on my little huffy bike with a big giant bag of what I think. I never looked in the bag, but it smelled like a lot of what I don't want me on my body. and I'm driving with my little members only jacket, and I got the bag stuck in my pocket, like in there, and I'm sitting there going, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. And I've never ridden my bike faster than that in my life.
And already going through your neighborhood, which back then...
Already worried about your dad's going to kill you because of this fucking bottle.
Well, that wasn't the problem. See,
his dad was scarier than anybody else in that neighborhood.
See, the problem was everybody is looking for runners so they can rob them. Because they either got cash or they got dope on them. So if you can find out who the runners is and you stick them up, you get a good payday. Either you're going to have a lot of weed that you didn't have to pay for, or you got a lot of cash that you didn't have to earn.
Right.
So you're always looking for who was running dope. Like who was the runners going between.
Which is why it's always beneficial to have different people rotating out.
Exactly. But if somebody knew that you were running cash or weed down a particular number, you were a marked man. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I knew this. So I'm like, okay, only 3 people know that I'm doing this. So I just need to get there and get back before anybody figures out that I'm the runner. So I'm just I've never ridden my bike so fast. Yeah. And I'm running, and then like you're running past, and then some dude that you don't know, hey, cuz, can I talk for you a second? Nah, man, I'm busy. And like, nah, cuz, I need to talk to you. I'm like, shit, how can someone know that I'm running? And so I just and then, you got people like trying to cut you off, trying to stop you. There's the worst day of my life. Worst day of my life. Got the money, bought the liquor, and from that point on, I think it was like 16. Yeah, never touched that liquor cabinet ever again.
I'm sure you didn't.
Yeah, because that was a cost that I didn't want to pay.
Right.
And I paid it, and I didn't like the cost. Yeah. And that was the one and only time that I ran dope. Never again.
Not willingly.
Let's see. Let's say worse. Way more vanilla and tame from on my side of things. Worst night of drinking. I had discovered mixing honey Jack Daniels with, which is very good.
That's very good.
Mixing it with red Gatorade.
Never done that.
I was rehydrating as I dehydrated, I was keeping the electrolytes up and everything. It was great for keeping the hangover off because like honey Jack, very sweet, Gatorade, very sweet. But because of those electrolytes, man, it kept the hangover away.
You didn't even realize you were drinking some bad stuff.
Right, because and plus I was 19 at the time, Air Force days, so I'm up there trying to hang with the cool kids and everything, but I can't be we're all hanging out on the front porch. Can't be seen drinking underage, So what I would do is I would drink the Gatorade down to that deep divot, and I'd fill that up with the Jack Daniels. So we're talking like 4 or 5 shots worth into a Gatorade bottle, and I'd drink the Gatorade bottle. Well, I drank like 2 of those, maybe 3 of those. It's like 2.5, we'll say, and I started getting very sick. And so I go to the first floor common room bathroom to start throwing up. And I go into the stall, close the stall behind me, lock it up and everything. And I am just hugging that toilet for like a good hour and a half.
You and the porcelain god.
I was praying.
Yep, porcelain god.
I was praying upon the porcelain throne. I I was deep into
deep in prayer.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was
like to call that.
That's one thing I've never done. I cannot throw up in a toilet. It just, to me, it makes it even worse in my mind that I have my head stuck down in a toilet with who knows butt has been on here. There's urine around it. I can't do it. I have to throw
nice and
outside
cool
or in a trash can.
I'm literally at this point just laying my head on my hand on the toilet seat. Just,
God, see, I can't. No,
drooling away. And so my buddy Bomber comes in. Now, Bomber's like almost 7 feet tall, big old dude. It was him and our buddy Lenny were like the two biggest guys out of our friend group. But so Bomber comes in and he's got to use the bathroom and everything. He sees me pass out on this toilet. And he's like knocking on the door like, hey man, wake up. And I'm not waking up. And he's tall enough that he can like see up over the stall and sees that I'm just like curled up around this thing. Now, mind you, I said I was drinking a lot of red Gatorade. So all he sees in this toilet is just a bunch of dark red.
He's thinking you're throwing up blood.
Right. He's concerned. And so he manages to get up underneath of the stall, unlock the door and everything, and then wake me up. He's like, hey man, hey, are you okay? And I'm like up and looking at him, and I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, dude, there's all this red in here. You throwing out blood. I'm like, oh, no. It was just Gatorade, man. It's Gatorade. It's fine. It's like, oh, my God. All right. Hey, you need to get up to your room. You know, it's getting late. You know, curfew's going to be rolling through fucking, we didn't call them the MPs. What do we, security forces were going to be rolling through, you know, doing like dorm checks and stuff. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. And like, I go to try to get up and I just start getting dizzy again and almost falling over. And then as soon as I get back down to the floor, I'm like starting to nod off again. And so Bomber's like, all right, hold on a second. He goes to the bathroom real quick, comes back because he's got me out in like the main bathroom bit of floor. And then he goes and gets Lenny. And the two of those guys pick me up and go to carry me to the stairs. And my room's all the way up on the 3rd floor.
Oh my gosh.
Well, luckily for them, when they got me to the steps and I start getting up the steps, I wake up a little bit. I'm like, oh, steps. And I just haul ass up the steps and just run all the way up to the top and get up to my room. And my room's right there at the corner, so it's like, you know, first door on the left at the top of the stairs. They catch up to me at the top of the stairs, and I'm trying to get into my room. The key card's not working. I'm like swiping it, keeps coming up red, because like you know, it's assigned to your military ID. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why can't I get into my room? And I'm just sitting there swiping.
It's not your room.
No. Lenny and Barbara get up there, they look, and I got my debit card in my hand trying to swipe my way into my room.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, no, man, this was, they pull my ID, they get me into my room. Well, first they try to get me into my room, but my roommate Mike was passed out in the kitchen. Apparently he was wrapped up in a blanket, and he was in the fridge right there by the front door, and he fell asleep right in front of the front door, so I had to like push and slide him out of the way to get into the room. And then got into the room, and they like got me into bed. They're like, all right, man, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then, all right, cool. And then they left. And I went, and I had learned fairly early on how to prepare for, you know, drunk me and hungover me. So I got the water bottle next to my bed, and I went and I got the laundry basket with the trash bag line in it, so I could throw up, so I didn't have to worry about making it to the bathroom. No, I had my own bathroom, so I didn't have to worry about a piss bottle.
Yeah, you had to have those things, you know.
Right.
If you were too drunk to get out of bed, you just leaned over and reached in the bottle.
I was never that bad.
Yeah, I was that bad. I remember it was a terrible moment, but there was a few times where I thought I was in the bathroom and I was really standing over my friend's bunk. And I started peeing on him. Hey, fool! What? Oh, shit, sorry. And then you can't stop peeing. So then you're peeing on him, and then you're trying to navigate to the bathroom, and there's this trail of piss all the way to the bathroom. And then funny, by the time you get to the toilet, there's no more piss. It's all over there. It's like piss all everything. Piss on the dresser, piss on the freaking, you know, microwave, piss on the...
Oh, my God. Yeah,
piss everywhere.
Never had that.
And then, of course, there's that one time where I got really drunk, but then I ran out of cash. So I stumbled to my friend while he was asleep on his bunk, and I'm like, hey, dude, wake up, dude. Can I borrow some money? And then in the process of me asking for some money, I started throwing up all over his face.
Oh my gosh. When you think it can't get worse.
He wakes up and he's like, hey, oh, God, what the hell?
I swear I wasn't trying to kill him by drowning him in vomit.
That's what I was thinking of.
Hey, dude, get off of me. I have money. Some money.
Oh, that's bad.
So, best night of drinking. Best night of drinking. My going away.
Wait. Before you start, does this one, all the ones you told so far, you've thrown up in every single one of them? Does this one not do with you throwing up?
Correct.
Okay, let's go.
Which was impressive considering how much I drank. So we'll run through the tally. So it was our going away party up in Alaska. So it was my final days in the Air Force. We were all one last hurrah.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine had a place off base, and so nice little cabin in the woods type thing up there in Alaska. Beautiful area and shit.
Not the horror story then.
No, and so we're all out there drinking. Let's see. I started with a 12-pack of Coors Light, and then I drank a 12-pack of Miller Lite, and then I started into a 12-pack of PBR.
Jeez, that's a lot of sugar.
And at this point, it's starting to get later in the evening. Everyone's like, "Oh, we want to get a fire going, but it's starting to kind of drizzle outside a little bit, so everything's all damp and everything." I'm like, "I got this." And they're like, "No, man, you're not gonna get a fire going when it's all wet and damp out there like this." I'm like, "No, I got this." And like 20 minutes later, I've got this big ass roaring bonfire going.
You sacrificed alcohol for it?
I did not. I did sacrifice a road flare, but it was just I got the kindling set up and everything. I got the wood set up, and I got the road flare kicked off and going.
Stuck it in the middle,
and just let it build up and build up. And I'm out there with it. Like I took one of the empty 12-pack boxes and I like folded up into a nice fan, and I'm like fanning it and everything, getting all built up. And yeah, they come out and there's like 7-foot tall flames coming off of this thing, fucking right next to the wooden cabin that we were all drinking at. They were a little worried about that. I'm like, no, it's raining, everything's damp, it won't catch fire. And it didn't. It was perfectly fine. So I finished that 12-pack of PBR. And then I drank like a half a bottle of Hypnotic, but come to find out later that didn't really have much alcohol content.
No, they don't. It's just really
color
pretty.
and it's a lot of sugar. It's very pretty. I ended up trying Hypnotic later whenever I was sober and tried drinking it just straight, and it tastes awful. Absolutely cannot stand it.
I love the bottle though, the frosted glass.
Yeah, the bottle was
it
really
the
nice
light
looking.
blue one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love those.
But so then somebody suggested we do Jaeger bombs. So I did about 3.
Oh, Jaeger's disgusting.
So I did 3 or 4 of those, and then we ran out of Red Bull. So then we're just like, well, fuck it, just straight shots of Jaeger. So I mean, I'm sharing with 3 other people, so I had like 3 or 4 shots of straight Jaeger.
Jaeger's the one to make me throw up.
At that point, I was so drunk I wasn't really tasting much. And then I started into somebody had a 30 rack of Bud Light. And so I was sipping on some cans of those, just kind of maintaining. And I ended up being the last one awake. Made sure everybody was nice and tucked in and cozy in bed and everything. Everybody's shoes were off, so can't fuck with nobody. That was the rule. If you fell asleep with your shoes on, you're fair game. But if you took your shoes off,
I wonder where that rule came from. But that sucker still it persists even to this day.
And so everybody was nice and comfortable and everything. And then I found me a nice little cozy corner, wrapped up with a blanket and a nice hoodie for a pillow. And I passed out. I was the last one out. And I was the first one back up in the morning and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I was the one who was who was feeling okay enough to go on the Taco Bell run for everybody. And my buddy's friend, she had a Cadillac, a Coupe de Ville, 77 Coupe de Ville. It was a very nice car, and I got to drive that out to Taco Bell, and everybody gave me cash and everything, sent me out. And I had never driven in anything with that smooth of a suspension before. And it's like a dirt and gravel road out to the dude's house, like for a good quarter mile. And I'm just floating along like a cloud, man. I'm thinking, I'm kind of cruising a little bit quick. You know, I must be going like 30, 35. Because in my car, if I was going 30, 35, I'd be boom, 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 all over the fucking place. But I'm like, I must be going like 30, 35. And it's still a smooth ride. I look down, I'm going like 65, almost 70 down this dirt road. And I'm not feeling a single pothole. Had to dial that back real quick, and then got out to Taco Bell and back, and good times were had. And that was my best night of drinking, and the longest and the most alcohol I've consumed. That was my hurrah moment.
Hurrah moment. My funnest one, which is also kind of not necessarily crazy, but it was definitely fun for me. But I was single. I went out with my cousin, and we went out to this club. Club ended up being trash. You know, like it was a nice club, but I mean, we got there, and then we had a couple drinks, and then so then this guy came up, and he started flirting with me. I was single and everything, and he's like, hey, do you want to come up with us up to the hill? And I'm like, what's the hill? And he's like, oh, it's where everyone goes, and have a good time. And I'm like, sure, why not? I don't care. So I just ditched my cousin, and and I tell her, I'm like, hey, I'm going with them, and she's like, okay.
Wow.
And my cousin Amber's like,
wow, bad girl vibes.
But
no judgment, just love.
Oh no, wrong. She's great, but yeah, she's a risk taker, and she's like, oh, you want to go do that? Go for it. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with them. And then so I ended up going with them. And then we get to the hilltop, as they call it. This was in Tennessee. And like we drove for quite a while. It was probably like a 30-minute drive.
Is this like one of those makeout points or fucking?
No, not at all. It had when we got up there, it was mostly like older people. Like, they were probably like in their 40s. Because I just turned 21 not long before, like not long after I got to Tennessee. So we go up to this hilltop, and it has like this, it has a nice like huge gazebo, and they have karaoke there, and like it wasn't like a bar or anything. It was just a bunch of people go up there and they drink and they have a good time and they leave. But this one guy, I guess it was his dad, and he had his truck up there and he had a cooler full of beer, and so I start drinking some Coors Light and I'm having a good time. Well, then some of the other guys, I think they were like in their 50s, 60s, and they bring out some other bottles, and like they're like, here, let me fill you a cup. And I'm just getting my cups filled everywhere. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Like I don't even know what the fuck I was drinking at this point. And so I'm just drinking. And then like, I remember getting up there with some other girls, and I'm trying to sing fucking Shania Twain. In my head, it went really well. Guarantee you, it probably sounded like a donkey dying. So we're up there, we're singing Shania Twain, and like at this point, I am just so far gone. But like, I'm not sick or anything. I'm just, I'm feeling it. I'm having a good time. And like I said, besides the guy that brought me there, which was like around my age, probably 21, 22, it was all older people.
Trying to relive their glory days.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not even kidding.
Stuck in the past.
And at this point, like this, and I'm glad you brought it up, Big Smoke. You were talking about the one where everyone started taking their clothes off and all that.
Yeah.
And that's what reminded me of this one. I would have never thought about it until you said that. But then like all these older women started like taking their shirts off and their bras off. And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, what's going on? Like it's like a hippie like type of thing, like
jumping up on tables.
And yeah, they're like rubbing each other's like nipples together and everything. And I'm like girl on girl type of thing. And I'm like, oh, I mean, like no, like there was no sex or not like stuff like that. But it was just like they were all taking their shirts off, and I'm like, I want to be a part of this, so I take my shirt off, and then I take my bra off, and then like of course all the older guys are like. Like, oh man, we got a 21-year-old here, and she's taking her shirt off.
Young titties,
That's basically, and I'm doing the same thing all the other women are doing. There was this older woman, and we're just rubbing our nipples together, and I'm like, this is kind of weird, but kind of exciting at the same time. And when you're in that moment, in that headspace, you're just like, I don't care about nothing. This is fucking amazing, And I didn't picture anyone around me. I wasn't looking at any of the people like staring. I was just like in that moment, and I was just like, this is kind of cool. And then yeah, so that was basically it. And then everyone packed up and started to go home, and he drove me back to my aunt's house, and that was it. So like,
good
yeah.
time had by all.
Yeah, it was a great time. And so I was like, yeah, these are my type of people. It was just like backwoods, like, you know, I didn't know where I didn't even know this guy. I didn't know where I was going to be going, but I ended up having a great time. And I remember at one point his dad even told him to back off because like he was like, oh, I came here to hang out with me, and now you're just like hanging out with all these older people. And then his dad literally looked at him and he was like, she's having a good time. Leave her ass alone, you know. And so his son walked off, and I was just having fun with all the older people.
Yeah, boy, don't kill my vibe.
Right.
Nah, the best time I had.
Hold on, real quick. 14 you-knows that I clocked in that one. I think there might have been 15, but I think I missed one in there. But
Well, you can cut those out.
I can, but that's going to be time consumed.
Are we counting them now? Because Jolly goes crazy with you know what I mean.
I know. I count all of them, but it's
You gotta mention it way beforehand, so I think about it before it happens, not after the fact. Because you know how much editing you got to do now. You know?
Is that
a
a thing between you two now? We're going to be editing you knows and
I'll edit the first few times just to cut out.
Apparently,
the
I say it too
excess.
much.
15 in 7 minutes.
You know?
I don't care, but okay, I care for now.
I'm just saying, if it was a drinking game, we'd be all fucked.
Oh yeah, we'd be sloppy.
Every time Kitty says, you know?
Oh, what was that? How I Met Your Mother, Robin on whenever she was doing
Again, I've
something.
never seen it.
I only watched the ones when Barney was acting.
Yeah, there was something that she would say all the time. It was something similar, some filler word. I think it might have been or or something like that. And they had turned it into a drinking game of every time that she got on there and she said they would start drinking. Well, then she found out about it. And so she went out there and did an episode of the weather or whatever that she was doing, and she just said it intentionally, like 30 or 40 times in like a couple of minutes. And everyone's at the bar like, we gotta keep going, man. No. Just come on, you gotta keep going.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
best revenge, man. Best.
Yes, I will not apologize for the way that I speak.
I'm not saying apologize. I'm just saying that, you know, it's one of those things that you gotta watch for the filler words. You know, like with me, it's the uhs and ums. I know what my voice looks like saying or in fucking the spectrograph or whatever it's called, the audiograph. So like I've gotten so used to having to cut my own out that I start becoming more aware of it, and I try not to say it as much. And so it's just something that comes with experience and over time. You know, yeah.
You know? Yeah, see, you just said it. I'm going to get everyone saying it.
When me and him started noticing it, we started saying, you know what I mean? And
Mine's my dad's fault.
Nah, me.
Nah, me.
Or no, what was it? J-Rock on Trailer Park Boys. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Fucking love J-Rock. Know what I'm saying?
I can't look at Jolly any different now because the guy, he says it all the time. He says it at work too. Yeah, I was just sitting there, you know what I mean? I'm like, and I was like, it is a part of his personality. So I'm like,
it's part of his vocabulary.
Yes, I'm not gonna
how he talks.
I am not gonna mess with him.
I want to mess with him so bad. Every time I said, "No, I don't know what you mean." Elaborate.
Man,
every time he says
when we
it.
first started going out doing the podcast, we were doing that a lot. Hey, no, what do you mean? and he caught himself. Yeah, okay, I get it. Oh, yeah. But it didn't stop him for long. He went right back.
But he definitely says it a lot less nowadays.
Yes, he does. He does censor himself. In fact, a lot of times he catch himself saying it and he'll stop. But why bother? I mean, that's the way he is.
Because we gotta grow as individuals and as podcasters.
Especially when he's nervous or like unsure, then it really starts to come out.
Yeah,
mine's when I get excited.
Yeah, I would say for you, it's whenever you get rambling.
Yes.
Or whenever you yap.
You're yappy bearer.
Yeah. Whenever Jolly gets a little like carried away and he gets ahead of his thought process, he starts talking faster than he's thinking, and he needs to catch up. He'll use that as his very go-to filler word. And
filler.
Yeah, for me, it's not now. It's been replaced with "and yes." I just find myself stretching them out a little bit instead of saying it's "and yeah."
Start working on your vocabulary.
It's all comes with experience. It all comes with being mindful of what you're saying and how you're saying it. You know, give it like 2 or 3 extra seconds of thought beforehand.
You know.
Yeah. So we can go ahead and check us out on Facebook, Nightwatch Podcast. You can check us out on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and of course our home here on YouTube. And if you want to help financially support the channel, you can go to our coffee page, ko-fi.com/Nightwatch Podcast for a one-time or monthly subscription. And buy some caffeine because we're running just on coffee alone at this point. And
yeah, these two need their coffee.
Yeah,
I don't drink caffeine. I live off I just live off vibes and the environment.
Yeah, we have to drink enough caffeine to radiate the excess, give you a secondhand caffeine buzz. But yeah, and that's gonna be it for this shift, folks. We will see you on the next one.
Aloha.
Bye.
All right. Time to empty out the mop bucket, run the trash, and hit the lights. Go get off my time clock, and be safe getting home.